So I just got back from seeing Pete's Dragon. This was actually a film that I was really looking forward to because everything that I saw in the trailers was really making me excited. It just looked like something really different from Disney, something small, something independent, something that felt a little more grounded than something that they had done, aside from maybe their sports movies have that little bit of a feel, but I hadn't felt anything from that from their live action department otherwise outside of the sports movies. And so it just looked like something that would be my cup of tea. The original is fine. It's fine, it's cheerful, it's a pleasant movie. It has some things that I don't particularly love, but I talked all about it in a review on my blog. And so for me, I always prefer, if you're gonna make a remake off something that isn't perfect and could use work. And in this case, it's not really a remake. I think people that are annoyed, I think they have a solid point that they shouldn't have called it Pete's Dragon. They should have just called it Me and My Dragon or something like that. Because aside from the names, there's really not a whole lot in common with the original film. But I didn't really care about that. That didn't bother me. And I kind of liked, because I felt like with Jungle Book, that I felt like the attempts to try to bring in the original film with the songs and with some of the other things that I felt like it actually hurt the movie quite a bit, and it kind of dragged it down, made it slow, and because those things could be totally excised and the plot wouldn't miss at all. And in this case, so I actually liked the fact that they did their own thing, their own story, and I would have been fine if they had called it something else, but whatever. I think it was actually good. I think if they had spent any time bringing in the original story, I don't think it would have done anything to the story. And I appreciate the fact that this movie is under 90 minutes. It's very tight. It's a very controlled piece of storytelling. And so I was engrossed throughout the whole thing. And really what this more reminded me of compared to Pete's Dragon, it reminded me more of movies like The Black Stallion, Old Yeller, Sounder, Never Ending Story, E.T., Where the Red Fern Grows, those kinds of movies. It really had that feel. Super 8 is probably the last one that I think had that kind of a feel of a boy and his dog, or a boy and his dragon in this case, and their sort of adventure, their experience together, and sort of the heartbreak and the joy that they experience together. And so I really felt like it captured that kind of charm, and it probably reminded me the most of E.T. over any movie. And so it did have definitely a Spielbergian quality, and I really appreciate what David Lowery has done. The cinematography is so beautiful in this. The flying sequences are gorgeous. The dragon is so beautiful. Like, it is so perfectly captured. It feels so real. I don't know how they made this movie with only $65 million, but I'm so excited. I hope that Disney takes that. I'm so excited that they have him working, David Lowery, on the Peter Pan project, because I think if he can bring that sensibility and keep budgets small, then you have more of a chance of creative storytelling, because you can take more risks. That's why I'm excited about this movie, because I think that when you have a small budget, you can afford to take risk. And I just feel that in this movie, that there was some definite risk, and I feel like it totally paid off. There are definitely some darker moments. There's some moments that will be harder for kids to deal with, but so there was with Old Yeller, so there was with The Black Stallion, so there was with E.T. But that's all part of sort of the movie-going experience, and learning to sort of process those emotions through a film is actually, I think, kind of a good thing. But it also has really joyous moments, and the kids are so good in this movie. All the performances I really loved, but especially the kids are wonderful. The leads are wonderful. I thought that Bryce Dallas Howard was so warm, so lovely in the part. I liked Robert Redford. He's not in it that much, but what he is, it's wonderful and warm and lovely. Urban is kind of one note, as sort of the bad guy, but I still thought it worked. It felt somewhat believable that somebody that was scared could behave kind of the way he does. And you've got Wes Bentley in there, and he's fine in it. And just everybody is just lovely and fits for this type of movie, fits for this type of role. And it's not reinventing the wheel as far as the story, but I don't require that in a movie. I don't require everything to feel super new. The relationships are executed so well that I just bought it. And I thought even the relationship between Elliot and Pete was executed so well, and it was so heartwarming, so lovely. And it's just a really engrossing, beautiful story. I was so in love with this movie. I thought it was just sweet and thrilling and heart-tugging and beautifully filmed, and it just reminded me of those old classics, and we just don't get movies like that very much anymore. We don't get those films that allow children to feel a variety of emotions. You know, there was no toilet humor, there was no pop culture references, or the music was perfect. It was so good. Lindsay Sterling with the violin is in there. It's beautiful, and it just was great. I loved it. It's it's sort of similar to the Peanuts movie in a way, because some people would say Peanuts movie was just a very predictable story, and it was very, very simple. And it's the same way with this. This is very simple, and it's very old-fashioned, kind of like the Peanuts movie. This is definitely sadder than the Peanuts movie, but both of them are just sweet and lovely, and just remind me why I love movies. And they have a really nice message about family and love and loyalty and believing in things that you can't necessarily see. The original film has a bad guy who wants to chop up the dragon and turn it into medicinal tonics. So I think that we have a serious upgrade with the story and with the characters and everything here. It's just very heartwarming, very lovely, and I just thought it was great. I just loved it. So if you get to see Pete's Dragon, I think we should totally support this movie. Go out, see it. They need to know that this type of filmmaking, with this type of budget, with this type of themes, with this type of story, is going to be successful. Please go see it. I really love it. I give it an A+. It's one of my favorites of the year. I knew I would like it going into it, and I did. So let me know what you think of Pete's Dragon. Did you see it? And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye.